Oh good heavens. Look at you. You are finally finished.
It took the computer girl too long. Enough already with her final touches. She should have been finished with me weeks ago. What was so special about my eyes that she needed to keep reworking them again and again? I liked my previous eyes, they were good enough.
Computer girl is very detail-oriented. She has a good comprehension of the Photoshop application. I had weeks to observe computer girl while you were being built. As did that instructor. Look at your body sheen, the light reflection off your antennas. You can tell I was her first try. I am just a box with two eyes made out of coal. I would kill for some gauges or some elbow action like yours. What was that instructor's name?
It was Tammy Regier. She is so strict. Same thing every day. Hello class, let's review what you learned last class. 20 minutes for review, 25 minutes for instructional demo, 50 minutes practice time. And her theory was painful. Photoshop is the art and craft of digital photography. It requires equal parts creativity and technical expertise.
It was very structured. She does not sound like that. I think you are confused with a video resource by lynda.com.
She was always peering over computer girl's shoulder. I don't think she knew she was there half the time, but she was always smiling at me and winking at you. Proud as a peacock in heat.
She is making an observational assessment and asking well-crafted questions in order to determine if more help or instruction is needed. She was improving the effectiveness of the teaching-learning process.
What could you possibly know about observational assessment?
Observation is a direct means for learning about students, including what they do or do not know and can or cannot do. This information makes it possible for the teacher to plan ways to encourage students' strengths and to work on their weaknesses. Informal assessment techniques such as observation are becoming more important than formal assessment. They serve better than paper and pencil tests in evaluating pupils' ability to understand the principles and procedures. Reading nonverbal expressions of students throughout observation is important. This would increase the reliability and validity of the information collected. In this class, observation is used when a student is performing a task after a demo. Students are using their psychomotor skills.
Psycho who?
Wikipedia describes psychomotor learning as the relationship between cognitive functions and physical movement.
Computer girl would have been done with me sooner if the instructor talked to her less. She was shy at first and now she won't shut up. She now asks too many questions. How much advice do you need? Just figure it out yourself.
Observation can be used to improve the effectiveness of other methods such as questioning and discussion in the classroom. She was engaging computer girl in conversation, learning about her and what she needed to still learn to complete you. You would not have those antennas if it were not for the instructor realizing computer girl needed to be shown the demo technique again. She then went on to use the same technique on your powerful, claw-like hands. Not to mention your mail slot. Do you see a mail slot on me? She has improved a great deal over these last few weeks. This instructor is a professional in her field and makes consistent planned observations. This also makes this observational technique valid and reliable.
I get it already. What do you think the instructor will do with all this observation data?
Observation can provide qualitative and descriptive data on student performance. That data can then be used to give a student immediate feedback on their performance and comprehension. It can also be used to create guidelines for observation assessment and have continuous discussions on the use of those guidelines in the classroom with fellow instructors.
Sounds exciting.
It is. The instructor uses two modes of informal observation in the classroom in assessing student performance: whole class observation and individual observation.
She spends a lot of time assessing computer girl.
The instructor actually focuses on whole range of students' needs. She should be careful not to select students who are poor or high achievers or those with some kind of learning difficulty. She balances her time quite effectively.
I still think she spends too much time with Computer Girl.
Well, I think the instructor should have told Computer Girl to make your mouth smaller. But no, she let her expand the path and create a gradient fill effect for a more realistic robot black hole of nothingness. She is an A student. She would have been an A+ if it weren't for that mouth of yours. The more I look at you, the less I like you.
Before I was perfect. Now you sound jealous. These are not consistent judgments. You are not focused on Computer Girl's ability. You need to make decisions rationally in observation. Use concrete information.
Yes, clearly I am not a professional. You have listed the pitfalls of observation. I would have to keep a consistent image of a student if I want to improve on my observation technique and leave my cultural and social biases out of my assessment and keep my emotions intact.
Don't worry, cardboard box, I too am learning. Sounds like best practices would be to think only of the students being assessed in making the judgment. You should clearly define the concept, the competency or the skill to be assessed. Decision-making should be based on a sound understanding of the subject areas. And you should use multiple methods to collect information. How do you have all this knowledge about observation assessment?
I read it in a book by Cottrell and Harwood called New Directions for Teaching and Learning. I really liked the chapter, Do Classroom Assessment Techniques Improve Student Learning? Read page 37 to 46. I also watch a lot of YouTube, which is an accurate, insightful knowledge network. I love Frecklisman and his video Informal Assessment is sneaky like ninja. He's a hoot. And when I am not sure of a definition, I turn to Wikipedia, the world's best peer assessed database in the world.
Now that we are finished with Photoshop, what will happen in class tomorrow?
Well, of course there will be 20 minutes of review and then a 25-minute demo on the wonders of PowerPoint, how to create an effective static slide and how to use clip art to its full potential. If there is time, she will add an audio clip.
WTF. That is so lame. I am so bummed that we do not belong to that world.
WTF is an acronym. Students use it in writing their social media, but they do not say it out loud. You would not know this because that is all you have ever observed. This is an enabling environment you have learned from even though it was not planned for. I believe this could be classified as an example of incidental observation.
Yeah, sure. This has been an informative chat.
Wow, this is a great place. Let's go check out the background.
I couldn't agree more.